I have critically interesting information for you, baby dolls, regarding the crypto cycle. It might be extended if the history repeats. And what do you mean by the history repeating, my friend Somi? I thought it's going to be a 4-year cycle if history repeats. No. We're going to go through some new discoveries I've made, and it's got to do with the business ISM. We're going to go through this chart, and there's a couple of things moving around. Now, a couple of you baby dolls in my Telegram, they wanted to confirm again, what is the business ISM? Why do I talk about it a lot? Why does everybody talk about it a lot? So you probably never heard about it, actually. You're like, oh, it's not the Kippy or the US Fed or any of this other stuff. What is it, friends? It's a survey, okay? You can see up here, Purchasing Managers Index, okay? So what they do is, okay, they go to different manufacturers around the Metacana, and there's like, 400 or 500 of them. Someone sells hair, someone sells squeaky chairs, someone makes orange juice, packages that. And what they do is they get basically their data sheets. They go, okay, tell us how many employees you have, your inventory, the ingredients you use to make your orange juice and stuff. Okay, and write this number down. And everyone writes it down. They go, okay, that's baseline 50. Yeah? And then what they do is next month comes and they go, hey, we're doing a survey. Your employees, did you hire or did you fire them? Did you get more employees or less? Write it down. Next thing, your inventory, your oranges for the orange juice. Okay, did you buy more oranges or did you buy less? So let's say you do 1,000 oranges every month. Well, you go, oh, well, last month we only bought 950 oranges. So what they do is they standardize all of them and they get all these data and they compute them for everyone. And what they do, they plug it in and they give us a number. And the baseline is 50, my friends. So the baseline is 50. So what happens is, and the thing is, why do they do this, okay? You think about why they do this. Is because these manufacturers, the purchasing manager, they have their company on the line. They won't buy more things than they need. They have to estimate what they need. They go, oh, we're going to need about 950-ish. So the theory is these people are a good forecaster, right, for what comes next in the economy. And they are pretty accurate when it comes to that. Removing exogenous shocks, okay? So you and I, friends, are on this journey together. This Pokemon journey. And we are discovering a lot of the new things together, aren't we? Business ISM. Now, the thing is, though, all it can do is tell you a snapshot of today. Yeah, and you can standardize this cycle over time. So what they do is you actually notice over time, the baseline is 50. So when we're going below 50, we are contracting, right? When we are above 50, we are expanding. And you notice, you go, oh my gosh, my friend Somi, I've noticed there's these ups and downs. Yes, my friend, this is what we call the business cycle. You see that? That's the business cycle, my friends. Now, you might say, hey, but Somi, I'm hearing crypto. I'm not part of that. And I'll say, you know what? One more word out of you and I'm going to peg my nipples. And guess what? I just heard you say something. So my nipples are going to get pegged right now. Altcoins can be overlay on top of the business cycle for the past 3 cycles, and they match. All right? So what's happening in the real economy is very critical to altcoins. You can actually overlay ISM with ETH BTC, and they go up and down. And if you allow me in a very non-racist way to please show you, here it is. Here's one of my charts. You see that? Look at this. This chart is business ISM and the black line, and the red is, see, altcoins as a percentage of Bitcoin's market cap. That's literally total divided by BTC. That's your others BTC. Isn't that wild? So others BTC, which is the belly of risk of the crypto curve, yeah, versus Bitcoin. Yeah, we take on more risk as the business cycle goes up, and we take on less risk as it goes down. Now, you're probably also wondering, hey, why do we do that? Well, it's very, very obvious, right? When the economy is expanding, people are confident about their jobs. People are making money. Businesses are making money. They feel more confident to take risk in the future. They just think, hey, you know what? I've covered my rent for the next year and I can afford my holiday. So yeah, I do have an extra $10,000 to throw in dog shit Inu 69. You know what I mean? So they feel more confident to take on risks. That's why it's important, friends. And they do that. So, and by the way, this reflects itself in stocks as well. But stocks have a bit of a unique Ponzi part out here, because if stocks, they have like a fundamental meme around that, and it's so efficient. But like it's efficient, but still people spend less at like all these different companies. That stocks still go down when the business cycle goes down. So even though, fundamentally the company's worth a lot, but investors might be like, you know what, Tim Apple, you suck balls. So I don't want to touch Apple because we're in a recession right now. So then everything goes down, right? So you actually notice we're all linked, all of us, right? We all get in the mood to buy. We're all out of the mood to buy and we go down, okay? So what this is, now you understand, right? So business ISM, it's a forward-looking indicator, okay? But here's the thing as well. So what we've actually seen, business ISM reflects the crypto prices like in sync. So pretty much you don't get business ISM like up at 55 and then crypto in a bear market. They move up together month by month, and when they go down, they're pooped together. So it's forward-looking, but it's like it's macro data forward-looking, okay? Now you're probably also wondering, hey, Somi, are there indicators which give you a forward indicator that can predict the ISM? Yes, they're very volatile and spiky. And still, those indicators themselves, there's a bit of a risk with them because they are, I guess, they're very volatile, and like the US Treasury moving or oil moving or China doing something or a currency happening, random things can basically just shock it out of the way. Because it's always, that's what pretty much what screws everybody in the future, the uncertainty of shocks. Okay. Now you have this baseline fundamental understanding, friends. What I'm now going to show you is we might get an extended cycle. Okay. Now, but just be careful with it. Of course, we might get euphoria, but I'm just saying, what am I basing it off? Well, in each of the 3 cycles, I told you that when business ISM hits 52, it marked alt season optimism bursts, which started good thing for altcoins. Okay, so I'm now going to show you again that chart. So like right here, okay, we have business ISM. So what I noticed is, this is me, okay, this is no one else out here, highest value content in crypto. Yes, I'm wearing a helicopter hat. Yes, I'm a grown adult male. Some say I'm a scroll with my peg nipples. You're on board with it now. All right, get it. So what I noticed is I look at the chart and I just started like, being very family friendly and started playing with it a bit. And I noticed that when business ISM ticked above 52, see, I know where crypto was at that cycle because I've just been here 18 hours a day looking at all these charts all the time. It's like smashed into my head. So I know exactly what we were doing. And like I noticed the pattern. I'm like, interesting. So just being above 50 isn't enough because it's like near baseline. Yeah. The key number to me was like 52. Yeah, so that's why this, if you look at this chart, friends, see I have the green line here, 52, that's like bull market time, right? So I know what happens when we hit 52. I'm like, oh, wow, when business ISM was hitting 52 back then, I know Ethereum was going nuts, XRP was going nuts, alt season wave 1 was happening. So I just marked it down, okay? That's why I'm giving this content here for you. So when business ISM, remember, crypto is like in a bear market here. And then this is the Bitcoin halvening. We're looking at 2012 here. Yeah, 2012. Then what ends up happening is, so Bitcoin halvening, I think it was actually right here, November 2012. And then, isn't this wild, friends? Look at this. Bitcoin halvening, November 2012. And then business ISM just goes up. So that's why if you look at the chart, you think, oh, Bitcoin halvening forced Bitcoin's price to go up. It's spooky, isn't it? Because no, look what actually happened. Bitcoin halvening happened. And then coincidentally, the business ISM goes up for like the whole world. Everybody got confident. Isn't that spooky? That's crazy, man. Month to month, right? Now, this is the thing we want to focus on. So when business ISM crossed 52, right, we have alt season wave 1 and 2 here. So see, this is where it gets a bit tricky, right? Because if you're just going off this chart, you got to be careful of crypto. Crypto is so thin liquidity that we go explosive on the upside, but also because we're so thin, when we run out of buyers, we slice down fast and we top out fast. Yeah, you already know that, right? Of course you know that. So because we top out fast, we front run the future pretty like there's basically, you don't get time to think about the future. It just starts selling off, okay? Just like, for example, in 2021, altcoins were down 75% before the US Fed started hiking rates. Whereas in America, the S&P 500 was near its top. It was only down 5%. So think about that. Altcoins were down 75%. US Fed starts hiking rates. S&P 500 only down 5. Yeah, but Johnson & Johnson baby bum powder is not going to give you like a 15x on your money, right? You're only going to get like 15%. So that's the risk and reward of these things, right? So when business ISM hit above 52 here, and we know these things topped out, what I wanted to show you is right here. See this box, friends? I timed it perfectly. This is actually Bitcoin's top. So this box I've drawn is this alt season wave of euphoria. Yeah. And also in the next cycle here, 2017 cycle, I did the same thing. So I wanted to see when did alt season wave 1 and 2 happen here, you know? So I looked at it right here, okay? And as well, 2021 cycle. See this alt season wave 1 and 2. What you've actually noticed is the very, very, very end here, okay, is basically it's like game over. All right. What you can actually do is what I've actually done. So why did I put April 2022 there? It is because I want to show you others BTC on that period of time. And you can see it right here. So April 2022 was actually around here. Okay. So what I'll do is it was still high on others BTC. But if you know April 2022, 98% altcoins were destroyed by that point already. It was like well destroyed on. Only NFTs were going up. Maybe Luna had just peaked. I hit $100. Yeah, just like basically 3 coins were up and everything else was destroyed. So what I might actually do here is just move this box so you can see exactly when I guess Bitcoin topped out, which was Nov 2021. And actually, if you want to see, look how small the box is. Look how small that box is. That is alt season wave peak 1 and here. But what I've actually done, I've just extended a bit just so you're like, oh, how much time do you have to sell here? Would have been around March. Think about that, right? March. So friends, look how crazy that was. Business ISM hit 64 and we had the worst cycle ever. Interesting, right? Because that's just what happens. That's how it works. So you can't look at the number particularly. You're just looking at this like you're trying to just get to ride the wave, okay? Now, why I made this critical post here for you. So what I wanted to do is, okay, I looked at the chart and I asked myself this question. I go, well, when we hit 52, how long until the end of the cycle in each of the 3 times? And to my shock, so there's different numbers for each cycle, but the lowest was 9 months to alt season wave 1 top here. And then the longest was 18 months. Okay. And there was a few, I think 12 and 12 in there. So worst case 9, best case 18 months. So once again, what are we measuring from? It is when business ISM hits 52. So when you first hit 52 after contracting, so here you hit 52. So right here, right here, right here. Okay. See, in 2020, we hit 52 in June. And then we started having DeFi season. But the whole crypto cycle was over, I think, by April next month, right? So if you go to April, here you go. So it's 301 days. Yeah, so pretty much, there you go. It's like 10 months, pretty much. It's actually the number's 10 months. So, you know, 9 to 10 months, low end, 18 months, high end. Maybe let's just call it 12 months on average. Interesting, right? 12 months on average, you know. If you want to be conservative, you can look at that 10-month number, but still, you might say, hey, but my friend Sami, I would like now to see what the business ISM looks like now. Here we are, friends. We have had a contraction for 30 months, pretty much. The worst literally since 1980. It's been 45 years. Yeah, so you want to know, like I've told you, why did we get cucked? Sorry, man, we got the worst business cycle contraction in 45 years. Nothing we can do about it, you know? I guess it's good that we didn't get like a black swan capitulation event, but like we're still below 50 contracting, you know? So like instead of like getting a -30 reading, we only got like a -5, but for a long period of time, okay? That's why a lot of people in crypto would have rathered that we capitulate really hard and then they print money and then we're like off to the races. That's actually what happened last cycle. Isn't that funny? Look, this is zombie virus. People love the fact, in hindsight, that we just capitulated hard and we just ran up. That's what, see, friends, that's why it didn't happen this cycle, because everybody was expecting it. Because we got the black swan zombie virus, where everyone turned into ass-eating zombies back last cycle. So every single person was prepared for a super black swan this whole cycle. But instead what we got was like the infinite bleed burn, right? Right? So the next black swan that it might come in like another 10 years, man. 10 years where like everyone thinks, oh, it's going to be like a long period of time. Then you have like a big black swan. That's what just happens in markets, right? I've just seen this stuff out here. It takes a while for you to forget it. This zombie virus stuff, friends, trust me, it's still in everyone's minds. We all think about it every day. The day you woke up, everything was down 75% and it was all over. There's a world zombie virus. No one's ever going to forget that. It's buried in the charts. Man, what it looked like. I'll just show you the Bitcoin chart as well, friends. This is, man, I love this trading replay feature. Like we just woke up and it was literally over. It was literally goodbye. Goodbye, crypto. You literally just woke up to that. Bitcoin's down 50%, everything's down 50 to 60%. Literally, you're already down in a bear market. You dropped another 50% in like a day. It's over. And then everyone really thought, okay, we're going to have a 2-year bear market and then we'll eventually go up. No one in their wildest dreams would have thought, oh, our printing money means like, you know, we just, we go the up only from this part. Okay. So remember that critical information, friends, as I play for you more Pokemon music. You and I on this journey together, my friends. And we are going to make it. Okay? So, remember, it all started with me asking this question. When business ISM hit 52, how long did it take to top out? I want to know. And, like, we haven't even hit 52 yet. I'm like, well, apparently, everyone out there in crypto land, Uncle Bobby Lucas, Crypto Crew University Steve, Blockchain Backer. I'm telling you all you guys stuff. Like, I know you guys aren't going to believe anything I say anyway, because, like, who the hell am I? Because they're all independent thinkers. Yeah. I'm saying, hey, I'm yelling out, hey, all of you independent thinkers, you're all actually on the same side of the boat. Okay, I know everyone's like, you go one way, I go the other way. I'm contrarian. No, bro, you're on the same side. Okay, you gotta be aware what everyone else is thinking. Okay, that's how this game works. Like, you can't walk into a boxing match blind, say I'm gonna hit left and I'm gonna hit right. No, bro, you gotta watch the other player. Okay, it's a game of chess. Yeah, it's chess. It's not checkers, friends. You can't just go out and just flip a table and expect to win. Okay, look, we could get it. We could be just totally off and wrong, but I'm just showing it for you real time. Now, if we hit 52 shortly, let's say we hit 52 in like June. Remember, friends, this data comes out monthly. Okay. So if we hit, let's say by August, it's 52. Well, let's do 10 months from that. Where would the 10 months from that be forward? That's 300 days. That means July next month, next year. Right? You're like, well, okay, based off the shortest amount of time to the top, that means we're going to top out in 2026. Now, friends, if you watched my earlier video, I showed you the interview with Arthur Hayes, where he goes, look, he doesn't even believe in the 4-year cycle. He thinks this is where it's going to get interesting, right? He thinks like we're just going to run through next year. There's going to be money printing bonanza next year. But it's also interesting. I've got more information, other videos coming for you later on. Mick Hovell thinks it's going to be a standard 4-year cycle, but he's starting to switch into extended cycle part, where he thinks that they're going to print money and then they're going to try to do like an extension of it for the governments later on. So to summarize, friends, we haven't hit 52 yet. Okay, the business cycle hasn't started. And look, friends, look, I talked about the freaking dark prophecy. So like, that's why I listen to me. Okay, now, a lot of things, friends, a lot of times I don't listen to me. Okay, I don't listen to me at all. I'm absorbing. Okay, like a sponge. But now I'm like, man, like I don't think like this. I'm not the everything's gonna be great. Everybody, just go out there, chop your own mutilated genitals off, serve them on a platter, and go hug trees. Okay, I'm not that dude. Okay, I always see myself as the underdog. You know, like I'm not the guy like everyone's here to hold your hand and everyone's just gonna let you win. I'm not like that, friends. You know, so when I'm thinking, hey man, I don't actually think it started yet. Something in me is just, that's weird. You know what I mean? That's weird, friends. The contrarian who's buying low, selling high, going against the crowd, and the crowd is really, really desperate to make money. We know that. So like I'm super extra cautious about having any view where it says, I don't even think we've started yet. Because I've literally made videos for 2 years saying, be careful. Top signal euphoria is when people say, haven't even started yet, bro. We got 10x to run. You know, so I'm super skeptical of that. But now I'm genuinely, but I'm looking at this data and I'm like, we haven't even started yet. Okay, we've literally been bleeding at the behind. We literally haven't even started yet. Okay, but you see, it's kind of funny if you're sidelined or just watching, you're probably thinking, oh, is that good or bad? You're probably thinking, yeah, I wish we just had a 4-year cycle, because if we had a 4-year cycle, friends, we would have had alt season wave 1 by now. You'd have been peaking. Your portfolio would be up like 10 or 15x higher by now, and then it'd be a 4 or 5 month wait, and then we top out at the end of the year and it's all over. So this is like the painful scenario, but it's a believer cycle, right? So as I zoom up again, right, business ISM is at 48.7, literally just came out, and it is reflecting whatever Bitcoin's and Ethereum's price is. So if Ethereum's back up to like $3,000 maybe in the next few months, maybe business ISM is back up to like 50 or 51. Okay, so you don't look exactly at those numbers, but that's just something to think about. Also, you really got to be careful, because the business ISM, it's reflected more in the stock market. So the stock market, for example, so the business ISM was above here for a very long time, but the stock market was high. Only the stock market starts crashing down here, okay? But crypto was already collapsed by here, okay? So you got to be careful, all right? So what I can actually do is I just want to show you just on stocks. Let's actually have a look. It's a very good time now to have a look at it, because I just want to see, when did stocks start capitulating? We're like, uh-oh, it's over, pretty much a poopy time for stocks. So look at this stock market. Oh, you're down 10, 11%. Look at this by Feb, April, okay? By Feb, April. And by the way, that number's about 12%. So look at this. So stocks are down. So by, look at this. So see, look at this. This is nuts, okay? I've got it right here. So this is the stock market. Yeah, this is when you got to worry about, oh no, stocks, I'm down 12%. It might be over, okay? But look at crypto, friends. Crypto, oh, this is why it's tough, man. You had one here, and then Bitcoin tops out here. Okay, so this is the critical information as well. In these 90 days, altcoins dropped 75%. All right, that's the disgusting part. So literally between November 2021 to Feb 2022, altcoins destroyed. Let me show you one example, Cardano. Okay, so Cardano, friends, here you go, November 2021, and then you go to Feb. Look, it's down 68%. You see that? And by the time you get to Feb here, you're looking at the top, you're down 75%. You see? What about Hex as well? If you go look at Hex, what did Hex do in November 2021? Look at the peak here. And then you go to Feb, you're down 60%. But by this point from the top, you're already down 75%. You see that? So from the top, it's down 75%. But remember, it's relative, right? It's because like you and I, we haven't even seen a euphoric top number to go drop 75% from. But I'm just showing you, like, you don't have like 6 months to think about, oh, maybe should I take profit or anything out here. You are literally dealing with the unknown as you move forward in time. Okay, so if history repeats with this business cycle, that means we are at least 12 months away right now from the business cycle top. Okay, right now. Like worst case, if it takes 10 months to peak after business ISM hits 52 and we hit 52 in the next 2 months, okay, well, it's 12 months from today, which is wild to think, hey, we're running into next year, which is very contrarian. No one says that, friends. Only Arthur Hayes says we're running into next year, pretty much. And now I'm looking at the business start. Like I've said, we haven't started yet, bro. We had 5 red months in a row with the others BTC chart, which I've shown you many times. Okay, we have not had. Look at this green event. That's what a standard green year. How are we going to peak out here? But then you also got to be careful. A lot of people will say, hey, screw you and your altcoins. Your altcoins have no fundamentals and everything's trash. They should go to zero anyway. That's what they'll say. And I'll say, well, bro, Bitcoin is digital pet rock, dude. What does it do? Nothing? Okay, sit down. People have no problems buying up-only Ponzi Bitcoin. It literally does nothing, dude. The tech is slow. You have no privacy. You have to suck middleman D just to be able to buy it on a centralized exchange. By the way, you can't do any swaps on it. There's no identification progress. You can't hook up layer 2s, add any gaming. You can't even, there's no canvas on it. It's just literally digital pet rock. It's got the Satoshi story, that's it. Now, I'm not belittling you. I'm just telling you, like, if you're going to talk about fundamentals, Bitcoin's got no cash flow either. So, you know, that paradigm of stock market world is the old, and we're here with the new. So there are no certainties here, friends, only probabilities. We already know the biggest trap in crypto right now is that JEETs will sell on the 4-year cycle in an underwhelming performance result. So that's what we do know, right? You and I definitely know JEETs are dumping and they are ready to sell lows. Okay, so here I am just to tell you, if the cycle stretches beyond the 4-year cycle, they will FOMO very hard as they chant the mantra that the 4-year cycle is broken, which will lead them to buy unimaginably high prices. That if your market's going to set everybody up, this is how you would do it, right? If you were a mastermind, you'd make it underwhelming up until the 4-year cycle. So you get the weak hands out, and then after the 4-year cycle is meant to end, you start accelerating it. Okay, now I'm not saying it's going to happen like that. I'm just saying if you were master of the universe, creator of the simulation, and markets being markets doing what they do to rinse out weekends, that's exactly what would happen. Yeah, which is scary, but it is what it is. Okay, what if you're wrong? Okay, then you're wrong, but whatever. I don't see euphoria, man. I believe, friends. I'm a believer. It's a believer cycle. I don't see euphoria anywhere. I see death and depression. If you should be selling everything after 5 green months in a row, then we just had 5 red months in a row. It means you should be literally going turbo long on everything you see. But not financial advice. I'm just telling you, you're already long with me. But just, you have to be fair, okay? If 5 green is a traffic signal to get out, then what's 5 red in a row? 5 red in a row means. It means the cheapest you'll ever be. Something very interesting for us as well. So this is just where it gets spooky with the timing. So you know major loser Jerome Powell. Okay, major loser, always late Jerome Powell, okay? His Federal Reserve term ends in March of 2026. So about 11 months from now. So his term ends. And Donald Trump gets to elect someone new. Now, I think Donald Trump actually put in major loser Jerome Powell. Okay, so he used to be dovish, then he became hawkish, okay? That's why I guess Donald Trump doesn't like him anymore. So I wonder if the new Fed dove that gets installed does more interest rate cuts, more QE, and flunks the cycle in terms of like shifting it. Maybe. By the way, Arthur Hayes also thinks about that. He's like, maybe Trump installs someone new and that happens, right? Right now, altcoins are in a bloodbath depression zone. So we got nothing to worry about right now. Okay, so you get to see it now, friends. In summary, right, the business ISM hitting 52 historically means 10 to 18 months left. Yeah, 10 worst case, 18 best case. Yeah, 10 to 18 months left. Let's just use 12 as an example. Okay, we haven't even hit 52 yet. It's been 30 red months. We haven't even hit it. It means we've got at least 12 months to go. So pretty much once we hit 52, we're like, okay, friends, if we go off the previous crypto cycle, it could be over in 10 months from that point. That's wild, man. That's wild, friends. So if we hit 52, like I said, 52 in August, yeah, man, that means it's ending July 2026. And by the way, that's the first Bitcoin top. The alt season might happen a bit after that as well. Okay, and look, I know 3 data points. It is just three data points. This time could be totally different, and actually looking like this cycle is different. We just have this full right translation out here. Okay, so believe in something. This is what it all comes down to. The crypto cycle, huh? Remember, everyone, friends, wants to sell Bitcoin at 150K this year. They believe the 4-year cycle's over here. It would be interesting if we stopped early and then we get them out back at 95K. Be honest with yourself, wouldn't that be the scariest thing for a non-believer JEET? Where you think it's going to 150, it stays at 130, then it crashes below 100. And you're like, oh, the cycle's over. We rejected off 100K. Goodbye. And they all get out. And then we do like these like triple bottom moves where like everyone thinks it's over. And then just, you know, major loser Jerome Powell gets fired. And for some reason, by the way, I don't want that to happen. I want the 4-year cycle. I want a standard 4-year cycle so we just get out, man. But we'll see what happens, okay? The most important thing, we've got nothing to worry about. I've just opened your mind to the fact that the data from the past is saying we got at least 12 months to go, which is pretty wild when you look at it all together. Don't forget the most important fact of all, friends. Cycles go up and down. It doesn't matter. But you and me and our friendship is going to stay here forever. Like, subscribe, believe it or not. Catch you soon.